In this example, so-called herd immunity for a particular disease or virus is a state where a majority of a population has developed antibodies that successfully create immunity for individuals to the symptoms or effects of the disease. Epidemiologists who study the spread of disease conclude that herd immunity is essentially reached when at least 70% of the population has developed these antibodies or has been immunized against them. In this scenario, an appropriate null hypothesis would be H0, the percentage of the population for herd immunity is 70%, and we're going to represent this symbolically as H0, the population mean, is 0.70, representing our 70% of the population. So an epidemiologist at the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, believes that the level of population is not high enough, when in fact the level is at least 70%. Based on this, the CDC continues to recommend face masks and quarantining in response. This is an example of which of the following types of errors, type 1 or type 2. In a type 1 error, we rejected the null hypothesis when in fact the null hypothesis is true. In type 2, we do not reject the null hypothesis when it is in fact false. What should we say in this case? Well, our null hypothesis is that the mean is 70%, and our alternative hypothesis, if we were to state it, would be that the mean is greater than 70%. And we actually find, in reality, the level of herd immunity, the level of immunity in the population is greater than 70%. What type of error have we made? Well, we've rejected the hypothesis that it is greater than 70%, when in fact it is true. This would be a type 1 error. A type 2 error would be pretty much the opposite, that we actually reached the case that the level was greater than 70%, when in fact that was false. So we've made a type 1 error, and that's what we choose as our answer to this question. Which type of error have we made?